Today, I'm hopping on real quick just to talk about a strategy that I like to teach to everybody. And you'll hear me, if you're ever in a class of mine, you'll hear me say tension to task. What's your tension to task? Pay attention to your tension to task. Are you creating enough tension? Are you creating too much tension? And this is a strategy that goes beyond just the gym floor. Sorry, I hate how the lights make me look all shiny sometimes, and then sometimes they don't. Can you tell? Anyways, there we go. So tension to task is very basic. It's exactly like what it sounds like. It means that when we do a task, whether it's getting up out of a chair or off the couch, whether it's lifting weights, whether it's pushing the cart at Costco, whether it's lifting your children, whether it's kneeling down to pick something up off the floor, whether it's raking in the yard, there is a tension in our body that is required to perform the task and to perform the demands that are expected of our body. However, sometimes, and more times than not, a lot of us create too much tension. So we're already, a lot of us, tense, tight, holding all the tension, holding all the things. And we know this, but that translates over into a lot of exercises and a lot of things in the gym, a lot of things. And this can cause symptoms like pelvic floor dysfunction. It can cause chronic pain. It can cause that chronic tightness that you just can never get rid of. And so being aware of your tension to task, both in and out of the gym, is something that's super important, especially if you are symptomatic. But it also helps us reduce risk for symptoms later. So, for example, it takes more tension in my body to do a 150-pound back squat than it does to pick up my child on my back and give them a piggyback ride. I don't have to be as tense and as in it as I would if I'm doing a 150-pound back squat. But what I see a lot of people in the gym being really super tense, and they're lifting like 20 pounds and their shoulders are back and down and everything's really, really tight, and they're flexing all their muscles and they're breathing really hard. And yet it's not really a heavy weight. I see that kind of behavior a little bit more in people who are experienced lifters. A good example is my coach, Jess. She is obviously an experienced lifter. And I noticed in one of her videos that she was doing was every time she went to do a squat, she would do a little brace. So she would take a breath and lock herself in. And so I asked her, because she'd been dealing with some chronic pain, and so I asked her, is the weight in the video, is that a heavy weight for you? And she was like, no, not a heavy weight. I was like, okay, well then if it's not heavy, why are you bracing like it's heavy? She was like, oh, well, I always brace like that. I guess I just never really thought of it. And so I said, well, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but if you are symptomatic and this is the way you've been doing it, then why not try something different? Why not try applying a different tension for the task and see if it creates a positive outcome? And so she did. So instead of doing her and bracing, she just squatted. She just breathed through the whole motion. She relaxed into the movement. And guess what? Her pain got better and she was able to lift more. Yay. So now I'm not saying that this is going to work for everybody, but for Jess it did. And it's a great strategy to have in your back pocket so that if you are experiencing symptoms, or you're feeling like maybe you've always lifted this amount of weight and you've never been able to go to the next weight, well, maybe you need to create less tension and relax, or maybe you need to create more tension to push that weight. So knowing what tension to task means and knowing how to just apply it in any different kind of situation can really make your body feel a lot different. So when when Hazel was a baby, I had a lot of back pain, and every time I would pick her out of the high chair, I would get really bad back pain. And so once I learned how to do the pelvic floor connection breath, thus creating more tension in my core and my abdominals and my body, I was able to pick her up without pain. So it really is a great concept for all of us to remember, not just when we're in the gym, but when we're also at home. Are you always clenching your butt cheeks? Are you always, clenching your jaw? Are you always standing really tight with for me, when I was a kid, my dad always shoulders back. So I always stood like this, like shoulders tight, ribs flared out. And guess what? After pregnancy, that was a big cause for me for my back pain because I always stood that way. And when somebody told me, well, just relax, I was like, I am relaxed. I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, no, relax your shoulders, curl. And I was like, I can't do that. That's bad posture. And they're like, but does it feel better? It's like, yeah, my back pain goes away when I do it. Then do it, right? It was kind of one of those, those light bulb moments where it's like, if it feels better, then do it. Whether it's right or wrong, if it's different and it creates the positive outcome, then you're likely on the right track. Our body's smart. It creates pain to tell us that there's something that they don't like, and it takes the pain away when we do something it likes, right? So applying tension to task, I want everybody to consider that when they're doing their workout today. Also, when you guys are going throughout your day to day, I want you to think, am I applying attention that makes sense? Not attention that's right or wrong, right? Don't think in right or wrong or black and white. I want you to ask yourself, am I creating attention that is reasonable or that makes sense for what I'm doing? So whether you're squatting or lifting or pushing or pulling or just sitting around, I clench my butt a lot when I'm at the counter brushing my teeth, and I have to really relax my butt when I'm brushing my teeth for whatever reason. I don't need that tension there, right? I don't need tension in my butt cheeks when I'm brushing my teeth. So I have to be aware of what tension am I applying throughout my body when I'm brushing my teeth versus when I'm in the gym. So it's a great strategy. It's very simple. It's very basic and common sense, but it can make a world of difference in how you feel, in how you perform, and how your symptoms react. So if you have any questions about tension to task, let me know, but I'd love to see your feedback. You can comment in this video below about tension to task and what awareness and revelations you've had today about this concept and how you were able to apply it. Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later.